I had been a top level leader, manager in so many organizations that I had overseen people throughout my career. And it had been one of those skills that I had picked up. But what I quickly learned when I started this business, when I started this business on teaching people how to scale their business and diving in and helping them with that, I didn't realize that so many people didn't know how to delegate because it was already second nature to me. But I immediately hired help. That's one of the things I think that solopreneurs do wrong very often is they wait to hire help. They say, well, my business doesn't make enough money yet. Well, I don't know how to do that, so I don't know how to teach somebody how to do that, right? There's all these excuses. And so I noticed that right away when I started my business, that was something that I stepped into. And my colleagues and friends who also started business at the same time weren't doing that and were having a lot of resistance.
Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Christy Yoder, host of the Master Delegator Podcast. The Master Delegator Podcast is for busy and overwhelmed entrepreneurs who want to learn how to become effective in the area of delegation and learn how to hire great virtual assistants to help them scale their business and have more time and freedom. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and don't forget to click the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. All right, let's get started. Hey, welcome to the Master Delegator Podcast. My name is Christy Yoder, your host, and today I'm so excited because I'm going to be interviewing Dot Rock. I love her name. It's very unique. So Dot is the founder and CEO of Dot Rock Consulting. It's a strategic consulting firm that focuses on helping burnt out business owners stop doing everything and start living in their zone of genius. They help busy business owners grow by realigning them with their passion and teaching them how to hire and delegate. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna really enjoy my conversation with her. So we're going to talk all about delegation. We're going to talk about why delegating feels so hard, how delegation can actually feel good, and how you can shift your thoughts about delegation away from pain and towards abundance. All right. Well, welcome, Dot. I'm so excited to learn more from you today about delegation. But before we dive in, would you mind telling us a little bit about you and what exactly it is that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Dot. I own Dot Rock Consulting. It is a strategic consulting firm that helps businesses scale their business, get back in alignment, and get back to the passion of why they started their business, but also when I say scale, that means exponentially grow their business by only doing minimal new input changes, right? And so exponential growth is what scaling is actually about, not just about growth. Because when we add tools or people or resources, of course, we're going to grow. But is that exponential growth? And I'm really focused in my business on helping small business owners stop doing everything, get back to doing what they truly love, and surrounding themselves with the support of other people who are doing things that they're really good at. And so that's kind of what I do in my business. And I work with established businesses as well as solopreneurs to help them scale their businesses.
I love that. I feel like both of us, we speak the same language in business.
Exactly.
That's why I'm so excited. And when did you start your consulting firm?
About 2 years ago. So I'm a certified public accountant. I was a financial statement auditor for KPMG. And I did that for a number of years, working for public accounting firms and auditing businesses, Fortune 500 companies, large businesses, and then switched to smaller accounting firms and did smaller businesses. And then I switched into being a finance director and a CFO, worked for a rocket engine test facility at one point. And I kept overseeing the HR function in my finance role in businesses. And I just started really seeing that I had this passion for the people and how we move people around and the processes. I just kept seeing like, well, why is this so inefficient? Why we could just do this and this would work better. We could move so and so over here because they're really good at this. And I got really passionate about that and then became an HR director for a school district with like 250 employees, and really kind of dialed in my HR world and hiring processes. And then just my heart kept calling me to go start this business and help other small businesses with their efficiencies, with their operations, with their hiring practices, and teaching them how to delegate so that they could, have more freedom. And I stepped into this business so that I could have more freedom.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually one of the reasons why I started my business as well, so that I can have freedom and flexibility. So when you started your business, did you go full time, in running your business, or were you working part time so that, you still have that income that you need every month?
Well, a little bit of both. First of all, this is my second time owning my own business. I started my first business in my 20s. And that's when I started a business that was also about helping small businesses with efficiencies, but focusing specifically on their internal controls and their numbers and all of that. And what I found is that I picked that business because that business was something that was guaranteed to make me money and replace my income and get me that freedom card out of, working in public accounting, doing work that I didn't enjoy. Well, it turned out that it was like trading one for the other of the same
Right.
kind of, I didn't really love that work, but I was good at it. And so I ended up going back to working as a finance director in a municipality and thinking someday I might own a business again. And when I was working for the school district as HR director, I just had this deeper calling to honestly have more flexibility, do more of what I love, and pick my kids up from school every day. I had never picked my son up from school. He was in first grade. And it was the desire of my heart to pick him up from school and then come home and cook dinner and be a mom. And so I just started coming up with this idea of how I wanted to do it. And I was in a coaching community with Heather Chauvin, who has a podcast, and she just kept pushing me to, like, in any way in my life, go towards the desires of my heart. And one of those was starting this business. And so, yeah, I started the business while I was still working full time. And I started in February of 2020.
Nice. That's awesome. Isn't
I
it
got
that
my
great to have coaches, or to have a coach to push you to do the things that you really want?
Absolutely. I mean, it was a game changer because she held me accountable to that because I invested in a program. I felt like I had to go for those desires. And so I started in February 2020, which COVID hit a few weeks later. But I got a bunch of clients. And so I was working from home full time with my job, homeschooling my son, and got to kind of trial this work at home. Could I really do it? I'm a total extrovert. I love people, and I loved people stopping by my office and chatting, and all of that was a big part of my joy factor. And so it turned out I was really liking that. And then I got too busy. It was like, you can't have your full-time job and this side gig. And so I just went for it, and I decided I was going to turn in my resignation, and I wasn't ready, like, financially or anything like that. But I wrote the resignation letter, and I was like, I'll turn it in a few weeks. And then that just sort of helped my brain get caught up to, yeah, I am actually emotionally ready to do this. So yeah, that's how it went for me. As it was a little bit of both for a while, and then I just fully switched in how I looked back, not once.
That's really good. I'm pretty sure that's one of the biggest decision you've ever made in your entire life. And it's a good decision because look at you now, like you are serving a lot of clients and you are able to provide value to them. And there are, there was one person who asked me, so what is your favorite thing about being an entrepreneur? And I said a lot, but I think maybe the biggest thing is that the possibility, like they're just endless. You can
Yeah.
come up with a business idea and try it tomorrow. If it doesn't work, then try again, then come up with another idea again. So it's like you have so much room for growth, you have so
Mhm.
much freedom to do everything that your heart desires. And so when
It's
did you
this
learn?
like creative powerhouse all the time
Yeah, that's true.
that I didn't have. Like I was following the rules and I didn't always like the rules and I wanted to make new rules and they didn't always work. Like the inability to pivot in the corporate world was really challenging for me. Now, on the flip side, as an entrepreneur, the ability and the need to pivot constantly is a challenge.
Right, exactly. And that's, I think, the most interesting part about being an entrepreneur. There's always challenge. And I don't know about you, but I like challenge.
Yeah.
I like challenges because that means that if it's a challenge, that means that the solution is out there, you know?
And it makes you feel alive. That's why we're here, right?
Exactly.
Like you don't want to, I don't want to be the person who at the end of my life, whenever that happens, I go, well, I should have.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want to stay in that corporate world. And I mean, I think that's a lot of what I help my clients with is, do you really want to own that bike shop, but not be doing the part of it with community events that you love? And you're like just
Yeah,
dealing with the people management. Let
exactly.
me help you help yourself and get out of the people management because I'm good at that. And you get back to getting people gathered in groups doing exercise.
Yeah, that's true. And at what part of your journey you learned how to delegate?
Well, I mean, I had been a top level leader, manager in so many organizations that I had overseen people throughout my career, and it had been one of those skills that I had picked up. But what I quickly learned when I started this business, like, I mean, when I started this business on teaching people how to scale their business and diving in and helping them with that, I didn't realize that so many people didn't know how to delegate because it was already second nature to me. But I immediately hired help. That's one of the things I think that solopreneurs do wrong very often is they wait to hire help. They say, well, my business doesn't make enough money yet. Well, I don't know how to do that, so I don't know how to teach somebody how to do that, right? There's all these excuses. And so I noticed that right away when I started my business, that was something that I stepped into. And my colleagues and friends who also started business at the same time weren't doing that and were having a lot of resistance. And so that's part of why I was like, oh, well, I can teach people how to delegate. And that's when delegation became a big part of my business.
Are you sick and tired of being overwhelmed and afraid you'll never scale your business? Meet Smart VAs. Unlike many virtual assistant agencies that only assign one dedicated virtual assistant, we provide flexibility for growing businesses by assigning a team of experienced virtual assistants that can do different tasks to support your continuous growth. Visit smartvas.online to book a free discovery call and start growing your business.
Since you help business owners scale their business, do you think it's possible to scale a business without delegation?
No, I don't. I mean, I think that, first of all, in my core of core, I believe that we were never intended to do it all in our lives. I believe in the power of tribe and
Mm-hmm.
surrounding ourselves with support. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way in my life, where I had a major surgery 5 years ago and I didn't have a support system to help me. And my therapist was like, look, you need to rewire your brain and teach it that people will actually show up for you. And so I think that's probably why delegation and helping people learn how to hire appropriately is something
Mm-hmm.
I'm so passionate about because I had to rewire myself to learn that. And I know how to teach people how to do that because I've done it. It's now my second nature because it's just this little muscle that we have to flex and learn. And then it's become second nature for us to seek support and not do it alone.
Yeah. And that's the same thing with me as well. Like, I love delegating. Every time I need to do something, I ask myself first, okay, is this something that somebody from within my team can do? If yes, then I can delegate this. And then after that, I feel so good about it because first, I don't have to worry about the task. Second, I can work on the things that matters the most to me. And third, I am empowering a person to do, the task that I am entrusting that person to do. So, and it might be easy for us to delegate, but there are business owners out there who are having a hard time to delegate. So, why do you think that is? And how do you think how do you think, or what do you think they can do to make it easier for themselves to delegate?
I think there's a few reasons people find it hard to delegate, but first of all, I think delegation is kind of a dirty word. It gets a bad rep. It sounds really masculine and really difficult. And like there's this really specific stair stepper strategy that you have to do, or you are a failure. And I think people need to just kind of pause and get back to what delegation really is. And I say that delegation is actually an art form. We are empowering somebody else to do a task for us, but we are also realizing and allowing ourselves to accept that we don't have to do everything. We don't need to do everything, and that somebody else might actually enjoy doing something else. And we don't have to do things we don't like to do. Like this grit, this hard, this push that we are ingrained in with, it has made us really successful. Most small business owners, we got here because of that hustle, because of that grind, and sort of shifting that mindset to, all right, it would actually save my business money if I had somebody else doing these tasks for me. And I was focusing on tasks that light me up and therefore actually bring more revenue in the door. So I find it to be almost a bigger mindset shift to learn to delegate than it is actually about this strategy. And when we talk about delegation, I think people get so lost in the, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Like step 1, what the heck do you not want to do anymore? What do you not enjoy? Step 1, allow yourself to say, I don't have to do that anymore. And I can outsource this one task once a month for $100. It's like when somebody comes to clean my house, I can clean my house. You better believe it. But when they do it, the amount of energy that I have flow into my body, the amount of peace and joy and ability to focus on other things that light me up is a game changer. And I think we should all think about delegation as if we're having a cleaning lady come to our house.
Yeah, that's true.
Cleaning man, either one.
Yeah. And delegation is not all about just money, right? It's all about preserving your energy, your time, your resources, because we only have limited amount of time and we only have limited capacity in terms of doing our tasks and our projects. And I don't know about you, but sleep is very important to me. Like I make sure that I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep at night, because if I don't have enough sleep, I won't be able to function as a business owner. Like my mind would just go haywire and I wouldn't be able to think of, those creative things that I need to do within my business. So I think a lot of people, they just don't understand, the benefits of delegating to somebody else. And I always say like to business owners that I meet and that don't delegate yet, that if you need help at home, like doing your dishes, folding your clothes, how much more in business? if your business is the thing that is bringing in money, you know, to you. And so, you know, business is, I'm not saying that your business is more important than your personal life, but your business, it's so precious to us business owners. We treat it as our baby because we
Mhm.
know that this is something that will give us joy. And it's like our treasury. We know that we get income from our business, and if we don't get income from our business, then we will go back to working from 9 to 5, right? So if we don't delegate effectively, then it will not only affect our business, but it will also affect our personal life, like our
Well,
whole life.
and with on that note, what I say to people that I work with is that you have to put on your oxygen mask first as a mom, as a parent, as a friend, as a partner, and as a business owner, right? And if you don't put your oxygen mask on first to take care of yourself first, you're going to burn out, be overwhelmed, be ineffective, probably close your business, all the things. And
Right.
so I actually find that business owners need to hire themselves as their own chief energy officer first, right?
I like that.
Because, and then delegation is a component of being that chief energy officer and accepting, like, dropping your ego that you don't have to do it all, or somebody else could be better at something than you, and allowing that support. It's self-care as a business owner. It's chief energy officer work.
Right, exactly. um One of my guests here said that if you don't have a virtual assistant, then you are your own assistant.
Mhm.
Like, if you don't have a house cleaner, then you are your own house cleaner. If you don't have somebody to wash your dishes, then you're the one washing that dishes. So don't you ever complain about doing those things if you are not looking for somebody to do those things for you. So I think it's like what you said, it's mindset shift that you have to make, that you have to admit that you cannot do everything alone all at once.
Or even that maybe you don't want to do everything alone
Yeah,
at
right,
once,
exactly.
right? Like,
So
I think
yeah.
we've probably been successful because we did a lot alone. But wait a second, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, stop. It's about, I actually say that people who really struggle with boundaries, it's actually a codependency problem, right? We're struggling with
Mhm.
delegation because we're not setting boundaries for ourselves, and we're essentially, codependency isn't just that we're dependent on other people, it's that we're too dependent on ourselves. It's that we put everything on our own plates to control, to control, to control. And when you drop that codependency, you can step into delegation.
Yeah, exactly. And once you have mastered delegation, you can be the CEO of your business, and you can detach yourself from your business because you have team members who are doing everything for you. So you don't really have to like worry about waking up early in the morning, staying late at night, finishing all your clients' projects. You don't have to worry about finding time to spend with your kids, with your husband, or finding time to go on vacation or rest because you're not doing things alone, and you're not doing things that you don't like anymore. And it's funny because when you said, don't do things that you don't like, the very first thing that I outsourced was my discovery calls because I didn't like, up until now I don't like doing it, not because I'm not good at it, but because I just don't enjoy doing it. I'm just not a salesy person. I like
Mhm.
working on marketing strategy and figuring out how to grow the business, but not pitching my services to people. Can I do it? Yes, I can do it. Do I like it? No, I don't. And so when I hired somebody to do my discovery calls, within 3 months, our sales increased 10 times because I was able to do the things that I'm passionate about, and somebody is doing the discovery calls, and that person is passionate about it as well. And so a lot of things can happen in your business if you only know what you like doing and what you don't like doing. And it's not because you're lazy or something, but because there's somebody else who is better than you, who can
Mhm.
get the job done.
I mean, that's what I teach people with how do you make a job description, right? So the hiring process is like if you're really clear up front and you do your hiring process appropriately, then delegation is easier because you are choosing the right person to do the right task, right? And so when they when they don't know how to do those things, when they think that they have to do everything, I'm like, wait, time out. Let's make a job description. And on that job description, all I want you to do for 1 month's time is to every day when you're doing a task that you don't like, put it on the list, keep putting it on the list. Like, and then eventually you're going to see like, these are the things I don't like doing. These are the things that don't light me up. These are things that don't bring me energy or joy, that drain me. Okay, well, look, a lot of these are marketing. Okay, I think I need to hire somebody for marketing. I'm gonna let that go. Oh, a lot of these are admin or organization tasks, and I could hire somebody just like an hour or two a month to do that, right? Like, just create your I don't want to do it list, and it becomes your job description.
Yep, I like that. So aside from doing your to-do list, you should also have a not to-do list so that you know what you're not going to do and you know what you're going to delegate. So do you
Yep.
do one-on-one consultation, or do you do like big group coaching, or do you have like your own online courses, or how
I
do
have a
you do it?
combination, yes, of all of those.
Oh, cool.
I have a connecting the dots call where somebody can jump on for just an hour with me. And I'm great. My name is Dot, right? I'm great at helping people kind of get back to the clarity and run with the idea of where they're feeling stuck and where they should first start with scaling their business. I also offer quarterly boot camps to teach people how to implement a hiring process to hire part of their rockstar team or their entire rockstar team, and to learn how to delegate. And that's like a 30-day program that I have people go through. I am launching a membership in March of 2022. Where people can because scaling is really a journey and not a destination, right? Like if we're doing our businesses appropriately, we should consistently just be scaling, because it's just going to change and change and change over time. And we have more and more to outsource and get off of our plates. And so I'm starting a membership so that people can just be a part of the community and hear from other business owners and myself, and do some group coaching with that. And then I do VIP intensives, particularly with businesses that are established and even solopreneurs that are really ready to make that investment. We do half day and full day intensives where we just really dive into the business, and then they walk away with their clarity. We build it into their hiring processes. We audit. I review all their operating processes, their revenue, and we figure out all the ways that they can scale their business and what the action plan is to do that.
That's really good. So where can people find you online?
So .rockconsulting.com is my website. People can find me at ._rock_ on Instagram. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. And I have a blog on my website, .rockconsulting.com, where I write. Writing is one of my biggest passions and kind of where my creative juices flow. And so I write a lot about these topics to help people find some clarity as to why they are struggling with things like delegation or codependency and those types of things. So check me out on my blog.
Nice. Awesome. Well, definitely check out Dot. She has a lot of wisdom to share. And, just from what you shared here on the podcast, I believe that you can really help a lot of business owners, succeed in this entrepreneurial journey. So yeah, thank you so much, Dot, for being here. I love our conversation. Like, I hope we can, talk more about delegation, but I know we just have limited time. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was fun. I love talking to people who love delegation.
Yeah, thanks.